but he fights small. Bends his knees a lot, gets down like there.
You know, Barrera, because he turned pro back in 1989, he's actually fighting in his 4th decade.
That's a lot of years of boxing. 1989. It's the year I graduated. I'm still an amateur back then.
By fighting this kind of fight, De Jesus actually is allowing Barrera to fight at a very relaxed pace in which he'll be able to go a long way without any problem,
I think that left hand hurt De Jesus. De Jesus trying to fight here. I think he was rocked.
Well, and being that this is Barrera's first fight back in a while, I think this is the type of opponent that he needs. He's dictating the fight. He fights when he wants to. He covers up when he wants to. But you know what? Sometimes fighters that are on survival mode, that are trying to survive, sometimes you got to get them out there quick, because if you let them keep going, they could make you look bad just from them trying to survive it in the fight.
Yeah, it's not happening so far.
Frankly, Barrera looks anything but bad.
Yes.
He looks very good in there.
He's just such a pro, and he's now being able to hit De Jesus almost at will. So the end of 2 rounds, dominated so far by Barrera. Still to come our main event as you take a look at Irish John Duddy. And Duddy, very confident fighter. He's been very quiet this week. Closer it gets to the fight, the quieter he gets. And of course, he'll get all he wants from Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in his first fight with Freddie Roach in his corner. But it's only been 5 weeks, so it's a real proving grounds for this young guy as well.
Well, I think it's going to take more than 5 weeks. There we'll see his father, the living legend, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., one of Mexico's best, supporting his son there. And you see Freddie doing his hand wrapping his hands.
That's our main event. Still to come. Meantime, looking at a guy who's been a champion in 3 weight divisions, who wants to make it 4, 5-time champion all around. Marco Antonio Barrera, round 3.
He's fought at a very measured pace. He looks really relaxed in there. And I'm surprised, to be honest with you, at how sharp Barrera has looked at 141 pounds. First of all, that's not a weight that he's fought at. I mean, he fought Amir Khan, yes, but I mean, even here at 141, that's more than that. And you know, his halcyon days were at far less than that. And the layoff. I mean, it's almost a year and a half since he's fought.
But you made the point earlier that De Jesus is allowing him to fight the fight he wants to fight.
Barrera, by the way, is an expert at cutting the ring off. So if De Jesus starts running around, it might be doing it with the wrong guy.
The way he does that is by body punching, right and left hooks to the body, short right and left hook, uppercuts too. That's the way he does it.
Well, the jab for De Jesus has only been a rumor. He occasionally will show it, but he's not really sticking it with any kind of regularity. He's just kind of allowing Barrera to come to him however he wants.
I've never heard someone else have his nickname, which is Precipicio, because people said that when he fights guys, he pushes them to the precipice.
That's
and pushes them off the precipice.
I like that.
Well, he's not doing that tonight.
It certainly isn't.
Good left hand and then a left hand to the body. That was a great double left hand.
That's exactly what Barrera needs to start doing. He's starting to close the gap there.
Uppercut slipped in there.
He's getting closer. He's closing the distance on De Jesus.
Well, De Jesus is doing nothing to keep him off of him.
Well, Adailton is going to have to fight some. These fans, I can feel, are starting to get a little restless.
Great body shot again. That really got De Jesus' attention.
Yeah, I saw a gesture on his face. Barrera's, I like the way he's taking his time. I mean, he just, maybe he wants to go the rounds.
Well, the way De Jesus is fighting, he can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
Right. But I think if he jumps on him and applies a little bit more pressure, he'll be able to get him out of there.
I think
just a matter of time.
I think you're right.
It's what Barrera wants to do too.
Onde foi melhor? Outra coisa, trabalha mais leve, entendeu? Trabalha mais leve. Trabalha mais leve, entendeu?
Muy bien, man. Real good, real good.
I will take a look at some of the action round 3. It's been a fight completely dominated by Barrera. He's trying to pinpoint shots here, and he's landing wherever he wants to land.
That body shot was the one we were talking about. You could see De Jesus wince.
And maybe we'll see more of them body shots this next round by Barrera.
This is round 4. Left hand misses by De Jesus.
You know, even though Barrera has lost 3 of his last 5 fights, the only one he was really dominated in, ironically, was Amir Khan. And that's the fight that he got the terrible gash in the first round.
Right.
And they probably should have stopped it almost then. After 1 round, it was an awful cut. But the other 2 fights that he lost were, of course, to Manny Pacquiao and to Juan Manuel Marquez. The Marquez fight was very close, and while Pacquiao appeared to definitely deserve the decision, Barrera fought him much better than he did in their first fight, and won some rounds against Pacquiao along the way.
I think speed is what's going to give Barrera problems, especially at this point of his career. You know, with American, very fast, quick fighter, an Olympian. Besides the headbutt, I mean, that, you know, we know the fight ended because of the headbutt, the cut that Barrera had, but you could tell at the beginning that the speed
it was a dramatic difference in speed between the 2.
De Jesus trying to do a little bit more in this round, but with limited effectiveness. That headbutt cut you were talking about in the first round of the American fight. 38 stitches, 8 on the inside, 30 on the outside, up in the scalp of Marco Antonio Barrera.
Jesus realizes, I think, right now he's got to start fighting. He's standing there taking it. He's got to start fighting, and he's trying right now.
He's been trying, I think, this round, but again, with only limited effectiveness.
Well, Barrera had De Jesus in the corner here, did some effective punching. I think hurt him, and then he backed out.
There was a right hand that did get there from De Jesus. A little bit better round for De Jesus.
There's Marco Antonio, now 36 years old.
Don't let him get confident. You're winning the rounds, but don't let him get confident. Of course, there were the instructions of Miguel Diaz. Move back, take one step back, go under. That way you'll make a miss.
I think that's well taken advice, because De Jesus did open up a little bit more in that round. He was wild, missed most of his punches, but he was throwing a lot more, so.
But at least he showed some intention to fight in that round.
No, that's right.
If he carries that out, you know, that certainly was the most competitive round that we've had so far out of the four, although I don't think he quite did enough to win it. But he was in it.
There's a right hand. Didn't have a lot on it. He came with an uppercut behind it. That was a little short.
And I think what Miguel Diaz suspected in the corner of Barrera is true, is that De Jesus is picking up some confidence here.
Yeah, I believe that's absolutely right. What he's not doing is using his jab.
And now it looks as though he's trying to make Barrera fight at a faster pace, too.
Good body shot. Might have been a little low from Barrera.
De Jesus has been on a pretty good run lately. He's won 6 of his last 7 fights. His last 3 fights he's won all by knockout.
But again, if you look at his opponents, nowhere near the class of someone like Marco Antonio Barrera.
Well, he has, of course, one of the all-time rivalries. His 3-fight series with Eric Morales goes down in the history books. Probably as one of the, 3 or 4 best series ever in boxing history.
Well, they always say great fights make great fighters, and certainly those 3 fights put Marco Antonio Barrera on the public radar. Nice uppercut there.